We
You
have
are
to go
right in a
further.
way. I also want to come to this symbolism of the Operation Tiger around 19th of June. That happens to be the foundation, the 60th foundation day of the Shiv Sena, a party which was founded by Balasaheb Thackeray. Now, if these 6 MPs also get inducted into the Shinde camp, what kind of an enormous symbolic value will it carry, and especially on that day, because it means that Shinde gets stronger, Mahayuti gets stronger, and what happens to Uddhav then?
You see, if after the 2022 split, Shiv Sena, led by Uddhav Thackeray, has not been able to gather any public momentum, now after this second split, what do you expect Uddhav Thackeray to do? I think it's the end of the road for Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. Just as Raj Thackeray has fallen behind in Maharashtra's politics many years ago, I think it's time for Uddhav Thackeray to call it quits. If he is unable to reinvent his politics, do something beyond what he has been doing over the years, then I think there is no further, there's no light at the end of the tunnel for Shiv Sena. So, first split, okay. After that, you did not bring about any drastic changes in your politics. You did not bring about any visible change in your politics. You continue to do politics in the same conventional way which you are doing prior to 2024 split, and you virtually remained incommunicado. You virtually remained out of public glare. So how do you expect this not to happen after 4 years? And once this happens, now there is no further chance for Uddhav Thackeray to recover the lost ground.
Are there possibilities, Vivek, that these 6 or rather 7 MPs, whatever number of MPs are crossing over or switching their religions, are there any chances that they might come back? Because I was reading somewhere on the social media that Uddhav Thackeray is speaking to one of the industrialists who might help him to, wean back these MPs back into the Uddhav camp. How far are these reports correct?
If you are going to get those MPs back, giving them allurement of money, there is no point. What kind of a party you will be after they come back because of the allurement of money? What kind of a party you will be? What kind of Shiv Sena you will be leading? Full of people who want only money, and they have absolutely no other loyalty, no loyalty to the party's ideology, no loyalty to the party's leader, and they have loyalty only to money. I don't think any allurement of money by any industrialist who is on Shiv Sena's side or Uddhav Thackeray's side is going to get them back now. Because it's not just for money they are. If they were to go for only money, they would have gone 4 years back. That is exactly what I've been saying. See, if they stayed put with Uddhav Thackeray in 2022, they did not switch their loyalty.
What I'm surprised, Vivek, is that couldn't Uddhav Thackeray see all these MPs drifting away from the party?
I don't know if I don't much know about Uddhav Thackeray's style of politics. If this has happened the second time, only he is to blame for it. I don't think you can blame Shinde Sena or BJP more for it than you can blame Uddhav Thackeray. I think there is something awfully lacking in your leadership, in your style of politics. These people who stayed put with you despite that split, you could not keep your flock together despite that experience. It means that there is something terribly wrong with your brand of politics, your way of politics. That's the only conclusion I can draw. Of course,
but there is another factor, Vivek, everyone is talking about, that these MPs were feeling very helpless because there was pressure on them, and now that pressure was coming from the center or that pressure was coming from Shinde, we do not know. But people are, and senior journalists on the social media are writing about the fact that these MPs were told categorically in very clear words that if you don't switch allegiance, we will stop sending you the funds. The funding for their constituency. So what does an MP or an MLA do if he's threatened in this manner?
There are two things that such MPs and MLAs can do. Either still remain loyal to the party, their original party, or switch loyalty. Now, if they have chosen to switch loyalty, that means they have absolutely nothing to do with the party's leadership and with the party's ideology. You have to remain very resolved in your mind to fight the might of the BJP and its alliance partners. If you don't stay put, if you don't have that resolve to fight the BJP, come what may, then this is exactly what will happen to you. It clearly shows that these MPs and these MLAs did not have the nerve to fight the BJP. They did not want to fight the BJP. They collapsed at the end of these 4 years. They decided enough is enough. We have to go to the other side. Otherwise, we are finished. Now, they were looking for their own political future. They did not want to. They did not want their politics to end, and they wanted to continue in politics. That is why they are switching loyalty. If they were to be the loyal soldiers of Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, and if they were fighting for their party's survival and their party's ideology, they would not have been influenced by this kind of blackmailing by BJP and its alliance partners. They would have stayed put. They would have continued their fight and waited for that day when the power would have come back. I mean, that is exactly what any loyal soldier would do. Like the three people who are still with Uddhav Thackeray, the three MPs, Anil Desai, Arvind Sawant, and Raut. These people are still there with it because they are not concerned about money. They are not concerned about funds. They are only concerned about the party and party's ideology. They are loyal soldiers. These people are no more there. They want to continue in politics. They want to remain in politics. They want to survive in politics. So they have switched loyalties. For 4 years, they stayed put with Uddhav Thackeray. Now they can no more do that. So they have now decided to leave the party and join the BJP's bandwagon. That is exactly what I feel is the situation now.
No, but Vivek, now it's constitutional or unconstitutional. Nobody is even looking at that part because it's like a given that if BJP is there, it's going to be unconstitutional. But this Operation Tiger, it seems, is just not merely a Maharashtra-centric development. It appears to be a broader national strategy. Do you think that this is a strategy to strengthen the NDA in the coming months?
Yeah, I think they will do it with every party, and we have discussed this issue also several times. They have been doing it for last 12 years. They have split so many parties, and they started with Maharashtra, of course, and they chose to split a party which was Hindutva-based party. So their own ideology was there, which in Shiv Sena, and yet they chose to split the Shiv Sena first, and then they came to NCP, and then to other parties in other states. So how they have been gobbling up regional parties that everybody knows, and they will continue to do that in the years to come. Now it is for the opposition to reinvent themselves, to reinvent their politics, do their politics in a different way, in a way which will kind of keep BJP guessing as to like the BJP keeps the opposition guessing now. The opposition needs to do their politics in a way which will keep the BJP guessing about what the opposition does. So you have to somehow desperately come out with something novel in your way of politics, and until you do that, and unless you do that, I think the BJP will continue to gobble up the remaining regional parties. People say the next in line is Samajwadi Party. Now let's see what will happen. Uttar Pradesh elections will be coming up very soon, and if I will not be shocked and I will not be surprised if Samajwadi Party also splits, and a large chunk of them will go with the BJP. So I will not be surprised. If it doesn't happen, it will be good for Indian politics. But if it happens, I will not be surprised. I will only be very sorry to know that the opposition and to see that the opposition continues the same old style of politics with the BJP and doesn't do anything different, anything novel to counter the BJP's politics.
What Vivek, is that each of these MPs, and that's how BJP functions, that they've made dossiers of every MP. And that has become an arm-twisting dossier for every MP. That's what is being discussed widely in Delhi. Now, if that is the case, what does an MP do? Now, we do not know what is there inside those dossiers, whether those are photographs or some other blackmailing material. We do not know. But what we are told is that there is a dossier for every MP which is ready. Now, how far that's true, I don't know, but there is a discussion on that.
Now, if there is a dossier about me, say, for example, then I have no other way. So what should the MP do? he should not indulge in anything which will give them a chance to prepare your negative dossier. So if you have been doing all these things and if they have your dossier, then you have to pay the price for it. I mean, that it is as simple as that. If I had not done anything wrong, anything bad, then they will not be able to create any dossier about me. They can slap false charges on me. That's okay. Then my option is to fight it out. Many people did, like Kejriwal did. He went in jail. He stayed in jail for 3-4 months. He fought it out. So you have to do it that way. So there are some loyal soldiers of Kejriwal who were in jail for months and years, but they chose to fight it out. That is exactly what you need to do. If you are afraid of the BJP, you either leave politics or you join the BJP. These are the only two options. Otherwise, you have to fight it out. Yes.
But this Maharashtra split, the Bengal split, what does it do to the national politics? It seems that this is a big churning time for the opposition MPs. But how do you look at the things from the BJP and the NDA's perspective? Are they trying to consolidate their position in the run-up to the UP elections, in the run-up to all the state elections, and also eventually 2029? Is that the way they are trying to consolidate themselves? And I wouldn't be surprised if even before 2029, if this is the speed and the scale at which they are going, they might cross the 400 par number even before 2029 elections.
Yes, there is that danger of the actually overtaking opposition parties that way. That's going to happen. They want their agenda to be implemented fully and finally, and create a Hindu Rashtra of their dreams. That is exactly what they're doing. If they get more than 400 supporters, they might change the constitution. Who knows? So they are planning everything very well and they are executing their plans very well. The opposition has to now come out with something which will prevent the BJP from achieving what they want to achieve. And what is that brand of politics which the opposition has to innovate and reinvent, that the opposition has to put together their heads and come out with some sort of a solution which will see them through in 2029. What the only outside chance of the opposition being able to defeat the BJP in 2029 is if the public opinion against the BJP crosses a critical level of negativity, then there might be some extempore, pouring out on the street by the public against the BJP, like what we are witnessing in case of Cockroach Janata Party now. It seems people have started coming out on the streets, but will that go to a critical level where the BJP would be forced out of power? That is something which nobody knows. What kind of turn of events will take place over the next 3 years till the 2029 elections? What kind of politics will opposition do and what will the BJP do? These are all questions in the realm of uncertainty and we do not know anything about it as yet. But what we know for sure is the BJP is going to try every trick to stick to power, remain in power and strengthen their power. And that is exactly what the opposition's benchmark should be. What the BJP can do, already know what the BJP can do. So you have to readjust to the real politics of the country. You have to reframe and do everything in a novel way, in an innovative way, in your brand of politics, and try to beat the BJP at its own game. So how are you going to do it? Whether you are going to do it at all or not, that is a question that remains unanswered. But for now, the situation looks very, very grim for the opposition.
Absolutely. And grim for the opposition and grimmer for Uddhav Thackeray, because we do not know what's going to really happen to his party and his existence, the political existence I'm talking about. So we'll have to keep a close watch on what's happening. It was Bengal and now it's Maharashtra. Who knows which state is coming next? And already murmurs are on that Akhilesh might be the next victim and Samajwadi Party could be the next victim. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining on HW. Thank you.